Hello friends, welcome to Akulmach Live. Let me ask you, do you ever get this feeling that your greatest strength actually is your biggest liability? In this video, we dive deep into Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 37 to uncover what we call the CEO's silent assassin. While the modern business culture celebrates relentless hunger and passion, the ancient wisdom was that the desire is the root cause of leadership failure, burnout, and the organizational decay. Let's go forward and discuss this matter. Every year, thousands of CEOs, founders, and high level executives fall from grace, not because they lacked intelligence, not because they lacked the capital, and certainly not because they lacked passion. In fact, it was their passion that killed them. We live in a corporate culture that worships hunger. We are told to be disruptor, to be relentless, and to want it more than anyone else. But there is a thin, invisible line where healthy ambition turns into psychological parasite. Before we move forward on this subject, a word about our sponsor. Let me ask you, are you struggling to find the right solution for your business problems? I would like to introduce HelloGig.com, whose AI engine connects you with top tier freelancers from your industry only, which helps in designing a better and scalable solution for your business. Whether you are a SaaS startup or an enterprise, HelloGig makes sure that you can focus on your core business. With HelloGig's global freelance network, you can depend upon all your technology needs, be it software development, artificial intelligence, video editing, or even something else. Ready to hire smarter? Scan the QR code given on the screen or click on the link below. Now let's get back to our video. So friends, over 7,000 years ago on battlefield far removed from modern glass skyscrapers, a warrior named Arjun asked a question that every leader asks themselves in their quietest moment. And what is it that impels a man to commit a sin, even against his own will or it by force? The answer provided in Bhagavad Gita is in chapter 3 verse 37 reveals the identity of this silent assassin lurking in every boardroom. Let's look at the verse. And it says, the quote starts, it is lust, it is anger born of out of modes of passion. It is all devouring and extremely sinful. Know this to be the enemy here in this world. Now, the lust in the modern sense usually implies something physical, but in the context of the leadership and Gita, it is much more broader. It is insatiable desire. It is the I must have it energy. The Gita explains that the desire is the product of Raja Guna or the mode of passion. For a CEO, this is the energy of doing, striving, and achieving. It's the fuel of the corporate world. But here is the warning. Passion is high octane fuel that, if not contained, explodes. Why does Gita link lust and anger so closely? As a leader, when you are driven by intense desire, whether it is hitting a specific valuation, winning a legal battle, or crushing a competitor, you become attached to the result. When that result is delayed, which happens daily in business, that desire is frustrated. And your desire is frustrated, it has only one place to go, that is anger. This is the CEO who screams at VP because the quarterly projections were off by 2%. This is a founder who creates a toxic environment because the product launch didn't go viral as planned. The Gita calls this all devouring. Like a fire, the more you feed it, the bigger it gets. You hit $10 million mark and suddenly 10 million isn't enough. You need 100 million. The hunger never ends. But the satisfaction lasts only for a second. Why is this assassin? Why is this called assassin? Because it kills your discrimination, which is, as per Gita, is buddhi, intelligence, which help you discriminate between good and bad. In verse 3.39, the Gita says that desire covers a person's pure consciousness, just a smoke cover, a fire, or a dust cover, or a mirror. When a CEO is in the grip of calm and growth, they lose the ability to see reality. They anger, red flags, every red flag will actually anger them, and they tend to ignore them. They want deals, too many deals to close. They alienate their best talent because their anger creates a culture of fear. They make unethical shortcuts because the all-devouring desire, justification, etc. Will justify everything, because people say everything is fair in war, love, and business. Think of the great corporate collapses of the last decade, from Enron to recent crypto meltdown. If you look closely at the autopsy of these companies, you won't just find, bad math. You will find a leader who was consumed by the silent assassin, an insatiable desire for more that eventually turned into anger of desperation. So what is the alternative here? Does Gita suggest CEO should stop being ambitious? No. The solution isn't to stop acting. It is to change the source of the action. This is the concept of nishkam karma, acting without attachment to the fruit. A leader who masters verse 3.37 operates from sattva, which is goodness, rather than rajas, which is passion. They set the same high goals. They work just as hard, but they aren't consumed by the outcome. When you are not the slave of your desire, you don't get angry when things go wrong. Instead, you stay, quite normal, grounded. You pivot, you learn, you lead with clear mirror, seeing the market as it is, not as your ego wants it to see. Every morning you step onto a battlefield. You have competitors, you have market volatility and internal pressures, but your biggest enemy isn't the guy in the office across the street. The enemy is sitting in your chair. As you go through your week, watch the silent assassin. When you feel that the surge of intense, desperate desire, recognize it for what it is, the beginning of a fire that will eventually turn into anger. Identify it, acknowledge it, and then return to your duties. Because a CEO who cannot lead themselves while eventually having no one left to lead. So friends, hopefully this will help you to become a better leader. And if you found this leadership breakdown valuable, subscribe for more Vedic insight for modern businesses, and tell us in the comments have you ever seen a great leader fall because their own all-devouring desire was overwhelming? Please let me know, and I will catch you again in the next one.